The following contest to go a distance of 5 rounds at a 68-kilogram catch weight fight. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you first, he'll be fighting out of the blue corner with the blue trunks, weighing in at 67.7 kilograms and standing 1.78 meters tall with a combined fight record of 14 wins and 6 losses. Fighting out of Hong Kong in Cape Town, Mathew Lee! And his opponent returning to TFP, ladies and gentlemen, no stranger to us in the Cape Town crowd. Fighting out of the red corner and weighing in at 65.3 kilograms with the red trunks and a combined fight record of 18 wins against 13 losses. He fights out of Thaiholics in Cape Town. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the fireman, Rafel Wozniak.
All right, as we go into our second pro bout of the evening, two of Cape Town's favorite Muay Thai sons, Rafel Wozniak in the red corner, fighting out of Thaiholics Cape Town, up against Mathew Marais, fighting out of Hong Kong Muay Thai. These guys have been in the scene for a long while. Both of them represented their province, fought at SAs, so they've been teammates too. Known each other for a long time, I'm sure too. Catch weight at 68 kgs. I know Mathew Marais had a tough cut yesterday. See it a little bit in his face. Said to me this evening that it was one of the toughest he's done. I think it's been a while since he's been in the ring. Raf, his last fight was out against delectably. Took some damage there. All smiles in the backstage, getting stitched up. He's keen to get back to action here as he faces off against Mathew Marais. The guy's adopting a shorter white crew, giving thanks usually to your trainer, your family, the sport itself. Again, 5 rounds, 3 minutes this time, with a 2-minute rest in between. Third man in the ring, Grandwest, looking for a cracker fight here, some action.
Last time we saw Rafel Wozniak in the ring, you got to cast your mind back to TFP 1. He went the distance in a brutal exchange with delectably in the main event of that. It took him a long time to recover from that fight. His shin was especially chopped up, you know, as most of the opponents for delectably will attest to. You know, you're fighting against a guy who absolutely throws daggers and razor blades at you all day long. and it's not uncommon to look the way that Rafel did. But here we have him back in the ring. It's an agreed catch weight. And like you said, hard cut over 5 rounds of 3 minutes. Is that going to make a big difference towards the end? Time will tell.
Yeah, both these guys just having broken into their 30s. Rafel 31, Matt 31 years old. That might also be a little bit of an effect, but you know, putting in the hard rounds in the gym, getting all that work done. These guys came here to fight. Cuts behind them. I know Raf in that fight with Nedo, it was his second fight with Nedo. And in the first one, maybe a little bit closer. Raf had a bit of injuries going into that fight, obviously knowing what happened in the background, being from my gym. But I think he's had a pretty good camp around. I'm not too sure what Matt's camp was like. I mean, I'm friends with him. I also have him on Instagram, so I do see what he's doing there. And yeah, he said to me he's feeling good, feeling rehydrated. But we'll see how it goes. You know, once you start hitting those deeper rounds, if we get that far, the fatigue must start to set in.
And packing an experienced head coach in terms of fights, Carlos Skippers at Hong Kong. So you know that he's got good sound advice coming back at him. You know, mainly a K1 exponent, but also a big fan of Muay Thai. And of course, Nicholas Radley in the corner of Rafel Wozniak, that old, tried, trusted, and tested combination of the two. Like father and son almost at the same kind of age. But hey, Thaiholics is producing a lot of good fighters down the stretch, down the years. Hong Kong off to a start with Mathew Marais.
Yeah, Rafel, you know, came to the gym, told us he wanted to fight, got into his first amateur fight in a K1 match, get in the ring, knocked out his opponent. Yeah, so from there, just been working his way. We know he's got a lot of power. He likes to throw down.
And I remember that fight because it was in the midst of one of the worst fires that Cape Town has ever had. And he was pulling 16, 17-hour shifts, trying to extinguish a city-wide blaze while training for the fight, and then decided to have a fight. Smoker's lung? Yeah, oh, come on, whatever.
Yeah, looking sharp here. He put his fist into the neutral corner. Raf looking to put his mark on this fight early on. Matt usually quite composed. Can take a big shot. We've seen him, you know, in some barn burners as well. Looking for the body there. Took a kick to the hip, I think.
Marais claiming a bit of a box shot there. When I say box, I'm referring to the guard that they use for their genital area. Not a steel cup anymore, is it more of a cricket cup, a plastic cup?
I'm not too sure what these guys are wearing. Raf probably wearing a twins cup, like the steel Muay Thai cups. Pretty good for defense. You don't really feel much when you get there, but there's that pressure shot that you get.
How does your foot feel kicking it?
You take a bit of a strike. Matt working Raf into the corner. Raf evades, works his way back to the center of the ring.
So both these fighters got good fight experience.
You can really see the outside of Matt's lead leg there, taking a bit of damage. There's a bit of welts going red. Raf hitting with that outside left.
What do you make of the plasters that you see on Mathew Marais' knees? Both knees similarly plastered.
Is that what that is? Sorry, I thought those were welts.
No, there's a big welt above his leg, though, in the thigh area. Would that come from this fight, or did he bring it in with him?
Yeah, I don't think I saw that when he came in. Yeah, maybe just dealing with a little bit of, you know, like meniscus issues there, trying to tape it up. Maybe even the hamstring. Raf sticking that elbow in. We saw Coach Nick Radley showing him that, you know, as Matt comes in, you've got to stick that. Matt's got a very wide guard, very Thai style, hands up front, very much replicating his initial trainer. Russell also used to fight like that with his hands out. But he's landing his shots. Raf shakes his head.
Great
shows him
exchanges.
that he, you know, he got those shots in, but here he comes again.
Great exchanges from both fighters.
Raf, little smile on his face. I think we're starting to see a little bit of fatigue from Matt, but he's done well with the boxing. As you know, keeping his range, he's definitely got the reach.
Great straight
Rafel
left.
doing well with the body kicks and the kicks to the leg early on. He steps forward with a switch jab.
And Rafel's doing the right thing, being the shorter fighter, cutting that distance and throwing elbows on the inside when he can.
Yeah, I think this is something we see from Raf as well. You know, like a lot of the times He takes his big shots, takes his head, and then comes with his own wild shots, but he maybe needs to put those hands up, cover up a little bit. I know this is the first round, but, you know, make sure that you don't take too much damage early on, and it definitely, you know, increases that fatigue. Blinking a bit there, stepping with that elbow. Wow, tight first round. Mathew did well with the boxing. Raf started out very well with the kicks.
You know, it's hard to see in terms of who the happier of the fighter is, because Mathew Marais, what I've noticed about his demeanor, he's not like the most excited guy that you get to come around. He's like a very calm guy. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. Raf, you can see the emotion. It's written all over his face. He's a very happy guy. You can see he looks like he's happy in the corner. Mathew Marais, a lot more composed, a lot more measured.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's his default setting.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, we're seeing that in the fight itself as Raf's landing shots. Matt's just, you know, standing there. He's doing the side head wobble, which is often like also an indication like, yes, you got me there, but I'm not really feeling it. But he's not as emotive as Raf with the smiles and so on.
We're still trying to clean up the blood from the ladies' fight before this. Preceding this fight, Anisha Mayman and Devin Raychos didn't job on each other, although it was mainly Anisha Mayman. But in this fight, we got to give them as dry a ring as possible for these two men to operate in. Who's the happier fighter after that opening round?
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I think Matt, you know, you can definitely see he had a lot more success with his boxing. He's had a few boxing fights. Moving his head around, that's something to Raf maybe to think about, to look for big looping hooks. Raf's trying to stick the elbows down the middle, but he's definitely, you know, at a disadvantage for the reach. So Matt doing well with the boxing, Raf doing well with the kicks. It was only the opening round. We scheduled for 5, so we'll see what happens now as the guys come out for the second. Maybe still feeling each other out, maybe finding their own feet in the fight.
Round number 2. Seconds have been asked to leave the ring, vacate the area, get the fighters on their feet so we can go again. Another 4 rounds to come, 3 minutes a round. Out of the bucket, Rafel Wozniak comes. From the neutral corners, they will move to the middle, and away we go for round number 2.
All right.
Straight away, Rafel Wozniak welcomes him to the second round.
Even though Matt's the taller fighter, I think Raf needs to be careful of him coming in. So use his teeth, use those big left hooks, because Matt's coming straight down the pipe, but he is leaving his chin a bit exposed. I hear Nick Radley shouting the Thai instructions, calling for low kicks, and then to move. So as Matt's coming in, to hit the leg, maybe hit the body. Raf looking for a catch there, but Matt doing well, landing his strikes, getting the punches off.
And this is where it becomes uncomfortable to watch, because you know that the points and the elbows and the knees are going to be making contact.
And I think we also see that Matt's not very comfortable in the clinch here. You can see he gets in there, grabs tight. That's also from the K1 background. You know, the clinch is really a space where you can land one strike and tie it up, then the ref will break it up. But in Muay Thai, we get to work through it. You know, Raf throwing 2 knees there, while Matt just sort of tied him up in the clinch work. So maybe that's something for Raf to think about. You keep seeing as Raf throws that, Matt's countering him with big shots on his power side, his left hand landing in almost like a slight hook, but definitely coming straight down the pipe as well, and catching Raf. There's that low kick that Nick was calling for. Big kick puts Raf, a little wobbles him a bit. Big body shot in return.
Under the arm and onto the rib cage. That couldn't have felt good.
Matt doing well with the flurry here. Landing big shots, followed up with that big body kick. Rafel needs to make sure that he either checks the kicks or slips off from the punches like that. Good
Great inside leg kick. Yeah.
Snap.
You owe me a Coke?
Still a minute left in this round. Quite a frantic one. Rafel comes over the top, puts the elbow into the top of Mathew Marais' head.
Again with the inside leg kick from Rafel Wozniak.
Needs to focus. If he's going to try and catch those teeps, he needs to put his top hand over the foot to make sure that Matt can't pull it out there.
Good right hand from Mathew Marais, just as he goes in to close the distance with a clinch. Again with the right hand. Mathew Marais has got a good right hand on him.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely you can see that boxing style, you know. Now he switched to orthodox stance. Also interesting. I think Raf looks a little bit more comfortable when Matt's not in southpaw.
Mathew Marais really needs to just throw that right hand. He seems to not be able to miss.
Yeah, and it's definitely like in this latter half of the round, open up a little bit, exposed Raf, landed those shots. Raf, when he's smiling like that at the end of the round, you know it's a bit of frustration.
Well, if you're watching this, you found us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. Thaiholics Fight Promotions. Follow us on Facebook, Thaiholics Fight Promotions, and Instagram, Thaiholics_Fight_Promotions. Hit us up in the comment section. Tell us what you're seeing. Let us know what you're thinking. And please remember, TFP 5, Level Up. It's coming your way 23rd of July, 2022, from the Grandwest Arena right here in Cape Town, South Africa. The headliner is going to be revealed in the coming weeks. Mixed card pros, pro-ams, and amateurs. Anthony Mailer makes his return against Pedro Casoma, who's going to be fighting after this fight, up against Mont Avery. Shane Deacon up against Jean-Luc Ardendorf, a title defense. Of course, Ardendorf earned his way into that title picture. And Ishaq Ibrahim also going to be making his first title defense against Paul Combal, one of the guys who came up trumps at the last Thaiholics Fight Promotions event. And you know, we can also sell you merch all day long, baby. It's available here live. And also, if you want to get the merch, admin@thaiholics.com is the place to send your message. As we go into the replays, I'm sure they're going to come. Round number 2, a lot more violent.
You see Nick busy addressing maybe some blood there from Raf. You know, he's taking a lot of big shots, so he needs to be careful. He needs to keep his hands up. And he also needs to look for, earlier, the same thing we said with Devon. Look for the body shots, the big kicks. I hear Nick calling for kick in the leg and then move. Yeah, it's not often that you see the smaller guys stand on the outside, but you know, it's maybe something that you can do with a boxer like Mathew Marais, who keeps putting that pressure on the front leg. So hit it, move off. Matt's doing everything he needs to do, though. You know, he's landing straight shots. As Raf's moving in to throw his own shots, his hands are up and he's catching him on the counter.
Oh, the joys of flexibility, something I've never been gifted with. Just bend him any way you want to, Nick, no problem. It's ridiculous.
Same. The only thing is I just get to lift my leg a little bit higher because I'm tall.
Round number 3 and away we go.
Okay, Raf looking a little bit more intent here. He's actually stepping forward now. Matt staying light on his feet, bouncing on the outside. The music intensifies as this third round kicks off. Oh, flying Superman there from Matt. This is where Raf needs to focus on getting those knees in, because Matt breaks there, lands some shots. Because Matt doesn't look as comfortable in the clinch. Not sure if that's something that Nick Riley would have spoken to Raf about in the corner.
Oh!
Matt with a big shot just under the arm of Rafel Wozniak.
There was a spray, there was a sound, and it looked like it hurt, but Wozniak walks it off.
The crack, we've got a little bit of, looks like smoke coming down from the outside there. I don't see it on the camera, but in the ring, it's quite electric, this fight we got going here. Inside leg kick from Rafel.
Oh!
At least he's slipping those punches a bit now.
That last kick looked a little bit on the dodgy side from Rafel Wozniak, just considering where his foot ended up.
Legs looking a little bit tired. He's slipping, but I hear Nick Bradley calling for the inside elbow as Matt's coming forward. Matt doing really well there. Catches that. Drops Rafel with a big shot. I wonder if it's going to get a count here. Nope. John Ray calls carry on.
But the way that he measured him for that right hand, it's like, I am going to hit this.
Yeah, Matt's got that range. He knew that, you know, the distance Rafel was at was perfect for that right straight.
It also looked like he had the time to think about it and place it where he wanted to.
He was walking forward, had Rafel on the back foot, so, you know, something easy way to do is just, you could even just lift his leg and he would have fallen there, but landed the strike, still coming forward, still landing the shots. Rafel on the back foot here.
The stakes are getting raised with every minute that passes by.
Matt catching Raf on the counters. Walks in with the body knee.
And I can tell you one thing, it's not looking Like Mathew Lee Marais was the guy who dropped
Yeah.
500 grams yesterday before the weigh-in to make the weight for this fight. He's looking better and better as the fight's going on.
In fact, with it being a catchweight fight, Rafel was already on weight before weigh-in, so it's also, you know, that fight with the scale that you have is a good mental setting, a good way to get yourself keyed in for the fight. Sometimes when you don't have to make the weight, it's a bit of an adverse effect.
The blood's starting to appear on Wozniak's face. He's beginning to look like Batman's Joker.
We're actually seeing a little smile here and there from Matt, uncharacteristically so. But he's obviously enjoying himself, but then he's landing. You know, when that happens, you feel yourself in there. Raf trying to do what he can to get back on the attack. Third round finishes. I think Matt had the upper hand through most of that fight there. Raf shaking his head, a little smile, bleeding.
Thai lipstick application given out
Taking damage.
to Rafel Wozniak.
Everything's red in the red corner.
And again, it's the Q-tips up the schnoz of Rafel Wozniak.
Prajit hanging low on the arm, maybe tied up for him. Matt looking pretty composed in his corner. Fairly fresh looking, as we said. Doesn't look like he was the guy who did the big cut. I think a total of close to 12 kgs, he said.
Rounds 4 and 5 are on the way here. The replays of round number 3.
Raf started out putting the pressure on. It was working for him until this big shot. That was really like something that turned the fight around. Turned the round around. Matt started landing this catch. Big shot on the chin, on the button. Raf going backwards.
Just slide that into the textbook.
Yeah, referee's decision not to call that a drop. Matt with the Superman punch that actually landed, glanced the chin of Rafel Wozniak.
So the decision not to call the count, right? Wrong?
Well, I mean, that's up to the referee. I think he has a look at how the fighter's doing. Raf did get up really quickly. He wasn't looking dazed. He was smiling, but that's, you know, that's Raf. And we've seen that there. You see these big shots landing. But that's a call you make on the fly.
Discretionary.
Also, because he was going back, lifting his foot, you know, he would have fallen regardless of the punch, but the punch did land really flush. Yeah. Matt taking a few deeper breaths now. I think this 2-minute round break is working nicely for Matt. Seems to be recovering nicely. Whereas Raf spending most of his time in the corner getting blood work done.
Well, I think that
Not
round
very light on his feet anymore.
squared things up a lot in the favor of Mathew Lee Marais.
Yeah.
He could also quite conceivably be a round up. We don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Good right hand again from Mathew Lee Marais.
Raf puts in a big inside leg kick though. We're seeing Matt has actually switched his stance quite a lot. He's favoring now that traditional stance instead of going to the southpaw. Raf pressing forward, lands a big body shot. Matt answers in favor on the arm. Big shot to the chin, wobbles Raf a little bit up against the rope. Crowd goes wild, inside sneaky elbow from him. Good place there with both hands on the head to look for a knee. Nice check there from Raf.
Wow, what a high check that was.
Yeah.
Good right hand, and another
big
one
punches.
comes in.
Looking for the glancing elbow again. Matt's doing really well here. You know, he's staying composed. He's not just rushing in. He's looking for those openings. And Raf's giving them. Needs to keep his hands maybe a little bit tighter, tuck his chin a bit, not eat so many shots from the punches. Look for that low kick. There it comes. You can see Raf's hands really lazy, a bit fatigued there. His punches aren't as effective as he'd want them to be.
The zip looks like it's been taken out.
Yeah. But still, it's late rounds. Even a lazy punch can catch a fighter. Mathew working on his guard, still slipping.
Oh, good jab, nice and stiff jab, semi-hook by Rafel Wozniak.
I think if they're going to be lazy, you've got to put the weight behind them, make sure they're stiff. The kicks as well, you know, you've got to be going forward on your kicks, can't be leaning back too much. Still power there.
And there's still power coming back from Mathew Lee Marais.
Yeah, for sure. Both of these guys turning it up here in the fourth round.
Good straight right. Straight left from Mathew Lee Marais. The first one, the second one just missed.
Raf walking him down, looking for a wild elbow.
Swimming.
Oh, each two big shots, a 1-2. deep to keep him at bay.
The money shot for Mathew Lee Marais, that's straight.
Yeah. And also he's finding Raf's opening by like touching the gloves, using his hook to set that up. Raf slipped it there. Oh, jumping elbow, hits him in the side of the neck. "20 seconds left in this fourth and penultimate round."
But you know, dare I say it, both these fighters, although this is a catchweight, it looks like there is a clear divisional difference between the two.
Yeah. See, with Raf being on weight already and Matt cutting, he's probably walking around a good like 4 to 5 Ks bigger than Rafel at the moment. Catches him as he jumps there and actually hits him in the thigh. Fourth round closes. Raf still with that look on his face like, I'm doing everything I can, but I'm not too sure what I'm supposed to be doing more.
He's playing high risk, though. He's going to try and close the distance in terms of the scoring by throwing these fundamentally out of par kind of shots. You know, he's just going for the winging, he's going for the spinning, he's going for the fancy, because the straight stuff's not working. The basics are not working, and I think it's a lot to do with the size difference that he's experiencing and what is coming back from Mathew Lee Marais in terms of that straight left punch and that big kick to the arm.
Yeah, and that's also throwing Rafel off his rhythm. You know, the fact that Matt every now and again comes with a big kick as Raf's walking in, that's how you stop the boxers. You hit them in the body, you hit the arms, you make sure that they don't have the momentum. As we see Raf taking a tumble there, hitting the back of the head as he jumped forward. It's working well for Raf, kicking that inside leg, but Matt's still landing his shots because he's got the range. I think that's one of the shots that Nick Radley was calling for, is hitting that outside leg, especially when he's in the orthodox stance. And it's relentless from Matt, you know, he's putting on that pressure, similar to what we saw in the last fight between Anisha and Devon. You know, it's just that high volume, and Raf walking in similarly to the way that Devon did.
You know, and I've got to say, there's a very even decoration of the thighs of Mathew Lee Marais, inside and outside.
Yeah.
The paintwork is all the same, it's red and blue.
Colors of the Thai flag. Red, white, and blue, both guys stepping in for the last round.
Round number 5 about to get underway.
No traditional bounce there from Raf. He just walks it in. They about to hug it out, I'm not sure. Nope, touch of the gloves.
They don't trust each other.
Stalking coming in from Raf. I think Matt knows that he's pretty much got this in the bag. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't do anything stupid, leave himself too exposed. Can work on the outside now. Maybe look to fatigue Raf a bit by chasing him around the ring. And what Raf needs to do is just square off there, stop him from moving around, put him into a corner maybe, stalk him down, kick the leg, stop his momentum, stop his movement. I think Raf's coming in there looking for maybe an elbow, trying to slice Matt.
It almost looks like he's trying to cut the ring to force Mathew Lee Marais onto his right elbow, onto his right hand.
Yeah, and you can see he's got his hands up, he's coming in for that shot. He knows that maybe if he can get a big cut, finish the fight on the blood stoppage. He's hunting with that elbow, the arms up, the hands out.
You can see it's coming.
Yeah, he's looking for it, but maybe he needs to set it up. He needs to throw a couple of punches. There's a big, you know, even if it's an overhand, Matt's hands are down. He's moving around well, but he's fatigued himself. This is the 5th round. If you're going for broke, oh, he eats some big shots there, Raf, as he comes into that. Looks for a little elbow there.
Weight cuts aside, the conditioning of Mathew Lee Marais to make the weight has been remarkable.
Yeah. No, look, he's did great throughout this fight. He's stayed active, he's been moving, he's been landing his shots, he's been, you know, the footwork's been great as well. Switching between stances, landing his shots. And I think that maybe caught Raf unawares. I think he was expecting Matt to maybe be a little bit more tired after that big cut yesterday.
Oh, just missing with the left elbow.
Still got a minute left in this round. Shane calling for a double jab, stepping right elbow. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Work your way in.
Oh, great right hand from Rafel Wozniak. But the zip has been taken out. It's not having the effect that it might have had in the first round.
Yeah, and Matt's still doing well. You know, he's definitely outpointing Raf in this round. Still landing those shots, pretty much flush. We haven't seen, besides that one big catcher and drop, we haven't seen anyone go down here. So these guys, you know, pretty well conditioned, taking a shot. They say you can't gym your chin, but I guess these guys didn't need to because they ate all their jungle oats when they were kids.
20 seconds remaining of the 5th and final round.
Oh, wild swing, getting the clinch. Body starts at the knee. Matt responds, looks for a big elbow. 10 seconds left. Both guys tired, but they're still out there throwing.
So theatrical, the last 20 seconds of this round.
So, oi, Raf sneaks in there, spinning elbow there. Matt takes it on the chin, shakes it off as ending up the round, bulk jitters. Both guys hanging over the ropes, left it all out there. Mathew Marais doing well to evade most of Rafel's strikes. Raf trying to work his way on the inside, definitely finding himself at a disadvantage on the reach, the height, and also, you know, taking a lot of those shots as he's walking in. Still got a smile on his face though. Hey, sneaky. Does a little stance with him, drops down. Guys hug it out, go to each other's corners, showing respect. Matt gets some order there from crew Nicholas Radley. Rafel laughing in the opposite corner there. Hands up, appreciation to the crowd. We await the judge's decision here. Referee Jean-Andre Blaine brings the guys to the middle. We're about to hear this announcement.
After 5 rounds of professional Muay Thai action at TFP 4, we go to the judges' scorecards, where they have rendered a unanimous decision victory, all to your winner, and fighting out of the blue corner, Mathew Marais.
Well done to Matt Marais. Gets a big round of applause from this crowd. The guys went 5 rounds, end to end, blood pouring from Rafel's face. Matt working hard, had to fight off the big fatigue from his cut yesterday. Calls his team in for a photograph. Calls the cameraman over. Great show of respect from the guys. As I said, you know, they've been teammates before. They've known each other, friends outside of the ring. Put it aside for this match. As Rafel's team, his crew gets in there, as well as his 2 corner men. Take a look at the replays. Yeah, this is the end of the 5th round. Raf getting a sneaky elbow in there. If I look at Nick's face, I think he was saying something like, you should have been doing that in the fight, not after the bell gone. Especially when he's coming in close here. You know, the distance was a problem for him. Those big looping body kicks from Matt kept him at bay though. And I think took that thunder out of him. This was the biggest shot probably of the fight. Matt catching his teep and following up with a big right straight. Matt doing well here, following up combinations, punches and bunches. You know, hitting the body, hitting the head. Good work from him there. But I'm sure we'll see Raf bounce back as we often have before. Backstage, we've got Neto.